Morning, U.S. lawmakers, they're divided over foreign aid proposals as brutal wars rage in both Ukraine and in Israel. Those strikes in Gaza continue. Democrats are pushing for additional funding for Ukraine and Israel, saying both countries deserve American aid in their fights against oppression. Republicans are resisting calls to send more money to Ukraine, having already sent billions of dollars to Ukraine since Russia's invasion started in 2022. Joining us right now, Marc Lotter and David Carlucci. Thank you, both of you, for being here. I want to start with a question to both of you. And David, I'll have you start. Why is this an either-or solution or situation? I mean, Ukraine's president is Jewish. Many Jewish leaders in Israel and outside of Israel have compared the terror of Hamas with the actions of Putin and Russia. Is this about prioritizing Israel right now as Ukraine has had 2 years of support?
Well, it shouldn't be an either-or. We need to be all hands on deck. We need to make sure that we're protecting our allies. And Putin is no fan of the United States. He's a fan of chaos. He loves nothing more than to see a speakerless House and to see that we are rudderless without a speaker. And that's caused by the extremism in the Republican Party. So we can walk and chew gum at the same time. To not defend and stand up for our allies will be a shameful disgrace for the United States. Secretary Yellen has said we have the capability. Right now, Ukraine, it's about 5% of U.S. defense funding, and Israel is minimal in terms of funding. We need to be there. We need to show support. The last thing we should be doing is saying we can only do one or the other. We can do both. This is the greatest and strongest nation in the world. Our biggest enemy is ourselves right now.
Yeah,
we need to be organized. We need to be united.
You're quoting Lloyd Austin with that chew bubble gum and walk at the same time there. Marc, I'll have you respond to the same question.
Well, I think we need to realize that not all international crises are created equally. We have stood by Ukraine. In fact, we have contributed more money to Ukraine than the rest of the world combined. And this is primarily a regional conflict. Why are Ukraine's European neighbors not doing more? Why is it falling on the United States of America? When it comes to Israel, in a completely different situation, as many people have equated this to 9/11. This is an act of defense of an ally against terror. And of course, we are going to be there for Israel, our longest standing ally in the Middle East. We'll be there with support. But we also have to make sure when it comes to Ukraine that what's the end game there? Look, we know Israel's going to win. We're going to make sure they have the resources to combat terrorism, just like they were there for us post 9/11 and so many of our other allies. But why? But Ukraine is a different situation. We need an end game there, and we need our European allies to step up and do more.
David, once we do really quickly.
I mean, these are connected. They're connected. We now know that Russia is dealing with Iran, with
Well, they've been dealing with Iran. That's long been known.
That's right.
Long before Hamas probably even existed. But I want to know from you, David, once we do have a House Speaker and aid is on the table again, would Israel's aid be at risk without a Ukraine deal attached?
Well, it's looking like that could be the case. But I think lawmakers are going to fight to get funding for both of these causes because they are connected. If we pull out from Ukraine, we're going to leave devastation in that area. And we're going to give more power to Putin, who then will give more power to some of the people that are not our allies. That's a big problem. I think it's showing weakness for America on the national scale. Yes, other countries should act and should help, but in absence of that, that doesn't mean the United States walks away. We made a commitment to Ukraine. We need to help them, and to not do that will have devastating results, not just for Ukraine, but also for the Middle East and for our country right here, for people living here within our borders. It's an existential threat. So I think we need to stay strong. We need to stay committed. This is not the time for a libertarian view and to allow the extremists in Congress to take control.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.